Last year, Milwaukee, Wisconsin came close to setting a new murder rate record. It almost seems like black youth are an endangered species.
For real, this is serious. We talked to people from all over the community, from teens, the mayor, aldermen, to TV anchors, to get a message out to stop the violence.
GTV weighs in on trying to identify the problem and offer some solutions.
Black is beautiful.
Stop the violence.
Let our warriors grow.
Stop the violence.
Black is beautiful.
Stop the killing.
Let our warriors grow.
Stop the killing.
Let's make some noise.
This is young people who wanted to spark this rally, who said something happened in our neighborhood, something happened to somebody who was in our peer group, and we want to do something about it.
He probably mad because one of his students just died.
In March of 2006, a student was beaten to death on this corner outside of Malcolm X Academy. What is happening to our youth? We are disappearing one by one. Who is to blame? The youth, the media, or the community? I hit the streets and ask angry questions that need answers right now.
Well, I think the studies that have come out over the past year or two have shown that peer pressure and media pressure have a greater influence on teens today than it ever did in the past.
The media is not responsible for a lot of what the problems are. It's like Chris Rock says, you know, if I go to the ATM and I get robbed, the media didn't rob me.
And the fact that you have some of the most influential, most powerful people being rappers in this country right now, it does tend to persuade youth to want to emulate that. And in emulating that, some of them forget that these are professionals and that they're putting together a music video or that they're putting together a song to sell that song.
You just can't point the finger at one person. We all play a part of this. We all can make a difference in everybody's life, especially our young people.
What are we telling them before they die? Are we telling them that you have a hope and a future? Or are we allowing these video games to raise them?
This is not a video game. This is not a movie. You don't put 75 cents in the machine and the person comes back to life. I've been to the crime scenes and I've looked down 2 feet from me to see a young man lying there dead. That guy's not coming back to life. I think people sort of say, well, it's not real, it's not real. I'm telling you, it's real.
The reason why I think there's a lack of compassion between the kids is simply because a lot of these kids out here have not been raised properly. There's a lot of contributing factors. You don't have the fathers in the home. Some of these kids don't really have real parents, real mothers, and they're out here raising themselves.
When you have a good foundation in the family, then you're more likely to respect what the family says, so you will be less likely to be so pressured by your peers.
Stop the murders, man. Anybody that's doing wrong and tearing up this community, they should stop it. It doesn't make sense to kill our young people, to kill each other. You know, we got to love. Show some love.
Show some love. The only love I'm seeing in the street is being shown way too late. What are we doing to save ourselves before a sidewalk full of teddy bears, candles, and cognac is constructed in our grieving memory? With over 90 homicides, the summer streets of 2005 were definitely boiling with blood. This year, how do we prevent a repeat of what we saw last summer?
When is enough enough? When do our young men and women begin to walk in the calling that God has ordained for their lives? They don't understand that they are potential doctors and lawyers, congressmen and leaders.
Some people believe that there's no hope.
The old Jesse Jackson thing, you got to keep hope alive. And we've got to keep hope alive for these young folks. We've got to make sure they got jobs. We've got to make sure they got education.
Now, there was nothing gained from last summer's violence and last summer's disturbances. I'm hoping that this summer that the young people are still looking to be heard, but that they use that energy in a much more creative manner.
Bring the youth into it. Bring those young adults to the table and ask them, what is it that we need to do? And then we go out there and collectively attempt to achieve those things.
Really, the community need to come together in each neighborhood. All the leadership in each neighborhood needs to just come and take over. The leaders on the block, they need to set a code of conduct for the neighborhood and make sure everybody abide by it. If they don't abide by it, it has to be consequences. Simple as that.
This is your city as it is us as adults. And we want to work with you. We don't want to work against you.
So I need the young people in this community to say to each other, enough of this violence. Get that crap out of here.
it's not worth taking another man's life just because you did something or said something to someone that you know or to you. Because it's not all that serious. Things come and go. Everybody has done that to somebody. Don't mean you got to take their life. I won't take nobody's life that they did something like that to me, and I hope don't nobody take my life for doing something like that.
The fact is, senseless violence is rampant amongst today's youth. However, there are countless positive teens who are committed to improving humanity through progressive actions by being about it instead of just talking. Ask yourself, what are you doing to improve the life and image of our generation?
We need to keep the conversation going. We need to include our youth in the dialogue to find out what's really going on with them.
We also have to come up with things for teens to do to keep them out of trouble and acting a fool.
Even more, we need to start caring about ourselves and each other.
After the break, we'll head down to the 911 Emergency Center in Chicago, Illinois to check out the Nerve Center of the Citywide Surveillance Program.